Good morning. Do you hear me well?
Yes, doctor. Good morning.
Good morning, Aya. How are you?
Good- Fine, thank you. And you?
Okay, thank you. Ten minutes and we'll start. 10 minutes. How many students we have in this class?
23,
About
doctor.
23?
Yeah,
That's all? All of you? 23? Okay,
yeah.
okay. Do you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, doctor, I see.
Okay, thank you. You don't have official email? You don't have
Yes,
official email? You have?
yes.
Why some of your colleagues need to enter as a guest?
Mm-hmm.
Some of your colleagues need to enter guests as guests. They didn't have the most of you. They didn't have official email. Mm. 5 minutes and we will start, inshallah. 5 minutes. You are 11 students now. Where is the rest of your colleagues? Okay, let's begin. Good morning, my dear students. Good morning. How are you? Are you okay? Can you reply at me? Can you reply at me? يارا وأسماء وسارة.
Yeah, doctor, we're fine. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, Yara, Sarah. Okay, my name is Fatma Zahra Salem. I am a professor in the Faculty of Education in the Foundations of Education Department, and I am the head of this department too. Welcome to our Foundations of STEM Education course, and this course will be during four lectures, inshallah. Hope you will enjoy this course with me, inshallah. So I am a professor in the philosophy of education and sociology of education. That's why I teach you this course in foundations of education. First of all, I'd like to ask you to give me five keywords, only five keywords about what's foundations. Can you give me any keywords, just keywords? What's foundations? Raise your hand if you need to answer. What's foundations? Only keywords. Yeah, yes, Khulud. You can answer.
Basic of education.
Basics, yeah, excellent. So the first keyword is basics. Yes, what else? Do you have more? Yara? Yes, Yara. Only
Principles.
keywords. Principles. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Yara. Who else? Who else need to add more? By the way, your interaction is part of your grade and part of your marks. Your interaction with me is part of your marks, your activity and your interactive with me. Okay. So principles, rules, uh, guideline, basics. Foundations means the basics. So we can say foundations means the philosophy behind. So what's the philosophy behind STEM? First of all, I'd like to ask you, what's STEM in five keywords? So you have now a good background about STEM after Dr. Amani and Dr. Sally taught you the course of psychology and the methodology. So what's and the other doctors in your career in mathematics and science. So according to you, what's STEM? I know the abbreviation, this is an abbreviation of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So, what system, according to you? Give me five key words. I will give you 3 minutes to answer this question. So according to your career, so you have a career and you need to employ and to apply STEM principles, foundations in your career. So how? In your major. Major means career. Your career means التخصص بتاعك, your specialization. Major means your specialization. So how do you can apply the STEM education inside your career? Yeah, let's take Claire, Atif. Yes.
Yes, doctor, good morning.
Yeah, good morning,
Uh,
dear.
I think STEM is an education based on integration with all
Integration.
the,
So
yes,
the first keyword, I just need keyword. Why all the time we need at first keywords? To make a relationship among these keywords. It is not just keywords, it's fields of studies, scopes of studies, or domains of studies. So when you bring these keywords together, it means a lot or it makes sense. So here, give me only clear some keywords. Integration, excellent, excellent. What else?
I don't know if it's an keyword or no, but I think it based on the student. The
Yes,
student,
students, yeah, student centric. Student
yes.
centric. Yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent. What else?
I think it's help for the grand challenge
Yeah,
to
yeah,
solve the
helping
grand challenge.
to overcome, yeah, to face or overcome the grand challenges. Excellent, excellent. What else?
Um, I can't remember now. I don't know what
You don't
it.
have more. Okay, thank you
No.
so much, Claire. Okay, clap your hands for your colleague. Clap your hands
Thank you.
for your colleague. Excellent, thank you. Okay, yes, let's go to Marwa. Yes, Marwa.
Good morning, doctor.
Morning, dear.
I I think STEM schools or STEM education is applied to creative thinking. Yeah,
Yeah,
student must
excellent, excellent.
creativity.
Creativity, innovation, creative
Mm,
thinking. What else? Excellent. So perfect. Huh? What else,
Um,
Marwa?
creative thinking and like like Claire say, um, it's bound on integration of science. It must be
Integration among sciences. Okay, what else? So this is the philosophy behind the STEM. It's the integration among sciences or bring sciences together, such as mathematics, such as science, such as engineering and
and math.
technology, and maybe art and human
Yeah,
sciences or social sciences. Mm. In the future will be add the arts inside STEM too. Not only science or technology or mathematics or engineering. No, we need artists. We need social sciences included inside the STEM education too. So STEM education brings sciences together with the philosophy behind STEM education is to bring sciences together, to integrate the sciences together. Why we need to integrate the sciences together? Can you answer why
and
we need to bring sciences together? Can you guess with me? Can you guess? Use the brainstorming strategy. Part of your STEM education to use some strategies, such as brainstorming strategy. So, what's a brainstorming strategy?
I think to make a project, students can make projects. This that
Together,
this project.
together. Yeah.
This project
Okay. So
would be to use more concepts from science, from math, from engineering,
that's
uh,
perfect.
from physics, and more.
Not
So we
only,
yeah,
yeah, is it enough to use only concepts or definitions, or the characteristics, the philosophy of the science, the philosophy of engineering, the series of engineerings, the applications in engineering, or and the application of technology, the applications of science, the application of mathematics. So you don't need only concepts or theories behind the science to apply in STEM or to apply in your career. You need to what? You need to take the philosophy of this science, the principles, the theories, the applications, the characteristics, the properties of this science to apply in STEM education or in your major or your career. So here in this respect or in terms of STEM education, you need many disciplinary sciences or more disciplinary sciences or integration sciences or bring sciences together. So here, this is the philosophy behind. We need to solve the nature problems or the engineering problems or the maybe the environment problems to inside our country or inside the world by using many sciences, not only one science. So here, this is the philosophy behind STEM education. So that's why we study STEM education in mathematics and science. So what's your major? When I ask you, what's your major? You will divide yourselves into two branches or two sciences, mathematics and science. Who mathematics, who join us in mathematic major, and who join us in in science major. So I ask you, um, how many students are mathematics and how many students are science, biology, chemistry? How many?
uh,
Okay. So Marwa, are you science or mathematics?
I'm science. We are chemistry. We are five first in chemistry.
Yeah, five, only five students, chemistry, and the other persons, the others,
7 students and
mathematics. Seven students and the rest, seven students mathematics or biology.
biology.
What,
Biology.
Khulud? Biology. Okay.
7 students
So we have 12 students science. Is it clear?
4 students math, doctor.
Only
Only,
in this
yes.
course? Yeah, only four students are mathematics. Okay. So let's begin our course today. And first of all, I'd like to establish or set a golden rule. Can you guess with me a golden rule to deal with each other and to interact with each other inside this course? Can you guess with me what's this golden rule? Can you guess with me what's this golden rule? Yes, Rabab.
Good morning, doctor.
Good
First,
morning, dear. Raise your
raise your
hand.
hand.
This is so okay. This is just a rule. It's not a golden rule. Golden. It's related to gold. Hmm. Okay. It's a
I don't know.
it's a rule. So this is you should respect the course and you should raise your hand before you need to answer anything. So that's a rule. It's not a golden one. Okay. Can you guess with me? Who can say?
attend all lecture.
Asking all inside, okay, that's a rule. It's not a golden rule. You don't need to ask inside the lecture. all the time ask and interact and be effective and active student. So it's not a golden rule, it's a rule. Okay, so who can who can guess with me what's our golden rule? Okay, can you guess? Okay, what's our golden rule? Who can guess with me? Okay, our golden rule here in our course is smiling. So why we need to smile all the time? Smile all the time. Why we need to smile all the time?
It's an amazing rule, doctor.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Because when you smile, you are satisfied. When you are satisfied, you share and raise your hand and apply the rest of the rules. So first of all, be smile. So why we need to smile? To what? To achieve our goals, to take a second step in our life. To what? To be satisfied, to obey my God, to satisfy our life. So here we need all the time to smile, to achieve, to be optimistic persons. What does it mean? Positive persons. So here optimistic means متفائلين instead of pessimistic one. So here we pessimistic means متشائم negative. So I read the black hat all the time. So we don't need to read or put on the black hat on the time all the time. We need all the time to put on the yellow, which means here the positive attitude and positive feelings and positive thinking too. So here all the time think positively, all the time be optimistic, and all the time be smile. So you deserve to be optimistic person all the time. So our golden rule here in our lecture or our course is to smile or smiling. So let's begin. So our agenda, do you see the presentation, the PowerPoint? Are you see this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, doctor.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so our agenda of STEM education foundations, it's begin with the historical origins. Origins means the background and development of STEM education, the institutional of STEM high schools, the conceptual and philosophical fundamentals of STEM education, best practices in STEM high schools, societal factors and STEM high schools, Egypt ground challenges and STEM education, and then evaluation and reflection. Let's start with STEM knowledge. So STEM knowledge has evolved since the 18th century. The background of STEM, the idea of bringing sciences together starts from the 18th century, in line with the expansion and the diversification and the specialization of science into the fields of physics, biology, chemistry, applied sciences, mathematics. Over the last 2 decades, some fields have integrated or fused within higher education to create merge the sciences together to create new sciences, to innovate new sciences. And these new sciences will solve many problems inside your career or inside your major. So here education to create a new discipline. Discipline means here science or system. For example, that of biology and chemistry. We have biology and chemistry, and bring these two sciences together to create new science, giving rise to biochemistry. So biochemistry, the two sciences became one science or became together and to solve many problems inside biology and chemistry too. So here biochemistry means the new approach or new method or new strategies to tackle and to solve many problems inside the two sciences, which means here biology and chemistry come together to be biochemistry, and so on. So there are many sciences unit together or being together to what? To solve many problems inside these sciences. So we need sustainability. So here in this respect, sustainable development. What does it mean, sustainable development? It means the continuity of development or how they can improve the sustainable achievements, the sustainable resources in our country or in the world. So here we discover new resources by bringing science together. So sustainable development require across disciplinary approaches. So here cross-disciplinary means transdisciplinary. So brings the disciplines together or to bring the sciences together to create new approaches. Approaches means here strategies or methods to solve the problems inside these sciences or inside the environment that you live. So here it is now increasingly recognized that educational policy, educational rules, educational politics, educational programs, and the curriculum need to be futuristic, need to predict with the future and to forecast with the forthcoming future. So future, they remember that future begins now, begins from the moment that you talked about or that you talk about the future. So there are two types of future, near future and far future. So we need to predict and to forecast with the forthcoming futuristic events. So and futuristic crisis and futuristic problems. How? By bringing these sciences together, by establish new philosophy to tackle new philosophy means here new rules, new principles, new standards, new regulations. So here new programs, new strategies, new approaches to what? To solve all these problems inside your environment or in the world. So here we need programs, new curriculum or new curricula need to be futuristic in the sense of preparing future workers. So we need new job, new workers, new inventors, new creative persons, so new innovative persons or innovative mindsets or minds. So leaders, new leaders and citizens to work innovatively. Innovatively means creatively. So here and the flexibility to respond to the challenges, all the problems or the big problems or mega challenges or grand challenges inside the country or all over the world. So here we need to tackle and treat all these challenges and face these challenges by new ideas, by new sciences or new approaches and methods they will face throughout their lives. So you all the time we have challenges in our life. All the time we have rocks and we need to, or stones, we need all the time to remove and delete or maybe adapt with these challenges. So you should create your own scenario or method or strategy to deal with all these challenges inside your career or inside your major or inside your environment. So all the time we need to face these challenges and problems with new ideas, new mindsets. Okay, throughout their lives at a local and global level. So here we need to tackle and treat all these problems locally and globally. There is always a need to look ahead, to try to predict. Predict means to forecast, to see the near and far future. So how do you can see the near and far future? How do you can predict with the new, with the forthcoming future? And this is what we say STEM education will enable you to have a vision or have a futuristic perspective. What may be needed in the future to meet the visions of each community and country. And that's why you study STEM in your career and in your major. So this is very, very important to bring these sciences together, to integrate these sciences together. And this is the philosophy behind STEM education. So before we move to how you can differentiate between traditional education and STEM learning, and this comparison, very, very important to set it into your mind and to differentiate between the traditional type of education or learning and the STEM learning to discover how the importance of STEM in today's life and in the recent life. Let's begin with with a small video related to this respect, then move to differentiate between the two sciences, the two types of learning or education, which is the traditional education and the STEM education. Let's see small video about STEM education, and then I will ask you what's the difference between the traditional education and the STEM education. Let's see the matter. Do you see this? Okay. Do you see this video or not? Are you see this one?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so I run it. Do you listen to this video?
Yes.
Okay, so you have the translation to this video in Arabic, and please take notes to answer the question after this video. You will see, inshallah, this video, and I'd like to answer the question, how do you can differentiate between the traditional education and the STEM education?
What is STEM? STEM is not just a subject at school. It's a way of thinking and doing, and an important skill set that could see your generation working together to solve some of the world's greatest challenges. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But it's not about being an expert in all of those things. Instead, it's about harnessing the essential, transferable skills behind them. Scientists know how to hypothesize, experiment, analyze, and evaluate what they discover. Technology can make our lives better. Designers of all sorts work together to make everyday tasks more effective and more fun. Engineers don't just wear hard hats. They are problem solvers that work on some of the world's biggest challenges, like creating bionic limbs for people with disabilities or exploring outer space. Mathematics teaches us how to quantify data and how physics rules the world around us. With mathematics, we can implement change and minimize error. You won't have to master all of these skills either. Teamwork is an essential STEM skill. Take the search for new energy sources, for example. Geologists and geophysicists search for gas deposits. Engineers help you design and run platforms and processing plants. construction teams work to build essential infrastructure under the supervision of project managers, and environmental scientists work with everyone every step of the way. Playing to your strengths and working in a team will have you creating a greater impact than if you were working alone. It would cost the Australian economy $9.3 billion in lost productivity, profitability, and employee satisfaction. STEM skills are useful to almost every career. 75% of today's fastest growing careers require STEM skills, and 82% of today's employees say they value STEM skills even if they're not required for the job. STEM skills can even unlock your potential to earn a higher salary or become more employable. You don't have to earn a university degree in STEM to be successful either. There are plenty of courses to get you started in STEM. But we don't have enough STEM graduates to meet demand. Numbers show the demand for STEM careers has grown 79% since 1990, but enrolments in STEM degrees are at an all-time low compared to the last 20 years. And despite the job opportunities, just 16% of STEM professionals are women. STEM careers can start small, then change the world. Engaging in your high school STEM classes or learning to code could be your first step to delivering driverless vehicles to the roads. Starting a research project at home or entering a science competition could see you defeating cancer with a cure. And that's just the beginning. We don't yet know what kind of jobs will exist 10, 20, 30 years from now. But with STEM, you're prepared for anything. How will you shape the future with your STEM skills?
Okay. So can you answer now the difference between the STEM education and the, by the way, the most clever persons in STEM education are women. The most effective persons in STEM education or in STEM are women, by the way. So let's move now to how do you can differentiate between STEM learning and the traditional one. Yes, Yara, can you give me some ideas about this question?
Yeah. The
Make a
educational,
comparison. Make a
the tra-
comparison inside your mindset, inside your mind. So what's the traditional one and what's the STEM education? Yes, Dia?
the traditional centered around the curriculum, but
Yeah,
STEM centered around solving big problem.
yeah, solving problems. And the other one is subject centric or subject center. The center of the process of learning is subject and the teachers too. Okay, so what
Yeah.
else? Excellent.
In
Perfect.
traditional, they don't have the opportunity to apply the science, but STEM they apply the science by make project.
Yeah, so here this is the education-based projects in STEM education depends on STEM education depends on education or learning-based projects. On the other hand, the traditional learning education-based exams, and not there is no room for teamwork and there is no room for interact with my colleagues and to discover new things or discover new innovations. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so only Yara, only Yara who shared her ideas with me. Okay, how you can differentiate between the traditional education and the STEM education. And this is the philosophy behind. And you should make sure that you can differentiate between the traditional learning and the new STEM education. Who can wake up اصحوا wake up الناس اللي لسه نايمة. Okay, only Yara. Who can make a comparison between the traditional غادة? Yes, غادة.
I think traditional education centered around the teacher. The teacher
Yeah,
who's
centered,
only
yeah,
one.
it's based about around teachers. Yes. What
uh,
else?
uh,
So this is
uh,
teacher centric.
uh,
Teacher centric. ممركز حول
in
or based teachers, education based teachers. Okay. On the other hand,
but in the STEM education depend on and center around the learners and
learners, educators, yeah,
learners
or
and center
students.
around their
Mm.
and center around their improvement their skills to apply the science and technology, math, engineering, the branches of STEM.
The branches of STEM or the, yeah, excellent, excellent. Okay, thank you so much, Ghada. Who else? Who else? Who
I
can
think in
make a yeah,
I have one point. I think STEM education depend on two-way communication between learners and teachers. But traditional education depend on one way. The teachers
yeah,
who is only the
only
speaker.
one way or only one method, which is what? Lecturing, or only teachers who teach the students and the students keep and maintain and retain the information or knowledge inside their head only. And they recall this information inside the exams or to remember it. So it's depending on memory and depending on remember the information only, not to use this information to create new things or to create new innovations. Thank you so much, Ghada. Very, very good. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Clap your hands for your Ghada. Excellent, Ghada. Perfect.
Welcome,
Thank
Dr.
you so much. You're welcome. Thank you, dear. Okay. So, who else? Who can add something? Where is the group of mathematics? Okay, so we have group of mathematics where because the by the way the STEM education depends on mathematics to solve problems, to use brainstorming, to critical thinking, to criticize and to find new ways and new perspectives. So that's why the mathematics including here in STEM education. So think how you can discover new solutions, new alternatives to the problems or to mega problems or challenges inside our environment. So let's see the matter. How do you can differentiate between the traditional education and the STEM learning? Do you see this PowerPoint or not?
Yes.
Do you see this power? Okay, so the first aspect, the first key point, it's the idea of knowledge. So here, retention in the traditional one, retention of knowledge. What does it mean? Retention, maintaining of knowledge. So traditional classroom education is all about learning by memorization. Memorization means the education depends on the memory and the remembers only, not to innovate something new. So here traditional classroom education is all about learning by memorization and remembering or retaining the information. By in the other hand, the application of knowledge, and this differ from the traditional one. In a STEM setting, knowledge retention is important, but it stresses the application of that knowledge in real life or in the future. And this is the real education. And this is the real learning here. So the application of knowledge is more important to retention this knowledge or maintaining this knowledge or keep this knowledge inside your head. So teachers, as you said before, teacher-centric or the education-based teacher and the education-based student, and this is different from the another one. So teacher-centric, the teaching process involves and an instructor. Instructor means the teacher or the tutor. Tutor, instructor, here means the teacher is speaking about a topic in the classroom, and the students taking notes, write down what the teacher said. So the teacher governs. Governs means here he is the dominator now. He is the center of the process of learning. The flow and direction of information. So he dominated the flow. Flow means here the generation, flow تدفق. So the flow and direction of the information of information. Who will govern this one? Who governs this type of information? The teacher only. The teacher who governs the flow and the generation of the ideas and the generation of the information. So this is what we say teacher centric. التعليم المركز حول المعلم. But on the other hand, in STEM education, is student centric. This education based student based learners. So the learning process consists of activities here involving probes. Probes means investigations, asking about all the time about the new information. To get to create new information, you should ask a lot. To get information and to close the gap and to solve your problem, you should ask a lot to get a lot. So here props means or investigations or asking or inquiring about the misleading things or the ambiguous ideas or the unclear things. So here you ask or unknown information to get a lot, to get many more information and knowledge to build your synthesis or to build your ideas about this science or about this problem, or too easy to solve your problem, or find strategies and methods and alternatives to solve this problem, or putting your assumptions or hypotheses. Hypothesis, assumptions means the pre-solutions of the problem or the initial solutions of the problem. When you test this hypothesis, when you test this assumption and select the proper assumption and select the proper hypothesis, so here you can easy to find solutions to this problem. So here hypothesis or assumptions means الافتراضات أو الحلول الأولية للمشكلة بتاعتك. All these things come from the new education or the innovative education or education-based creativity and innovation, such as STEM education, not the traditional education that depends on only teacher and depends only on information without application to this information. So student-centric, the learning process consists of activities, all the time practice activities, not only to examine by the end of your course specific exams or some exams, or to test your information and recalling the information, but all the time conduct projects, conduct activities, because you build your skills and you can easy to transfer these skills into new situations. سهل جدا انك انت to formulate your own skills, to be skillful in your career and in your major, and you can easy to transfer these skills, المهارات بتاعتك and these competences, القدرات بتاعتك into new contexts or new environments. And this is the real education and this is the real learning, not the traditional one. So here we need to overcome, we need to erase, and you need to delete and this type of traditional and centric education and move to and go to the new and real learning and education by using STEM education, which is based on student-centric, not teacher-centric. So here, the learning process consists of activities involving probes that enable students to see and understand firsthand how things work, how things such as materials, resources, organisms work. They take the lead in exploring and discovering and finding answers. All the time they find answers to their who will ask the students, who will find the answer to their questions, the students too. So the process of learning all the time based on the students in this respect. Also, on the other hand, traditional learning is repetitive. You repeat all the time the information. So monotonous means so boring. So daily education is monotonous, causing students monotonous means boring. Don't excite your mind. So it's not specific or it's not positive for you to all the time repeat the information and not use this information into your life. So here or in reality, so daily education is monotonous, causing students to lose focus. I don't care with what you said, because this repetitive information, what you say is so monotonous or so boring, because you repeat it. You repeat the series, you repeat the old series, you repeat the traditional theories, you repeat the history of the science, not how do you can benefit from this history or this series in our recent life. So I don't care to listen to you. I don't care to practice with you any activity, because you repeat the information, you repeat the knowledge. So I lose my focus, I lose my concentration, I lose my attention here. So here the student quickly lose and lost their concentration and focusing. There is no willful or eager participation. So here I can't participate inside the classroom. I can't have the willing to participate and to share my ideas with you, because all things or all the ideas I listen to these ideas before, so I can't share with you, because this is repetitive. You repeat the information and repeat the knowledge. So here multifarious. So here when I say multifarious means here STEM program involve multifarious. It depends on new ideas. Multifarious means muhaffaz, evoke the students. You have new information, new knowledge. You discover new creative ideas, new solutions to your problem. So a STEM program involves different activities. Picking means here you hafiz, attack, attract, grasp the students. So here this is attract, picking students interest. بيخطف أو بيحفز, evolve the students interest directly in the subtopic at hand, and limiting redundancy, repetition. When we say redundancy means the repetition. So it's multifarious means muhaffaz. It evokes the students, it evokes the students. STEM program has a lot of activities, a lot of innovative participation to discover new solutions to the problem, and picking students' interest directly in the subtopic at hand, and limiting redundancy. Redundancy means the repetition of the information. Also, compendium of multiple subjects. What does it mean? Compendium means here the brief or the summary of multiple subjects. معناها ملخص أو موجز عن the multi subjects or the topics that the students learned. So here this is a compendium of multi subjects. Traditional education covers a general spectrum of subjects without focusing into one or few, teaching a little bit of everything. So here compendium of multi subjects, it gather among many subjects and give a lot of information about these subjects without small ideas inside these subjects, and how you can apply these ideas into your recent life, and how you can apply the principles or the philosophy behind these subjects or behind this science. So here only give a lot of information about many subjects without the application of these subjects. On the other hand, STEM education covers subjects in detail. So here small subjects in detail, not the brief summary about these subjects. So here it covers STEM covers subjects in detail to give you many applications and many skills to apply into your real life. So STEM education aims to speak a lifelong interest in science. So lifelong interest means the future perspectives or the futuristic vision about this science. When you apply this science into your environment, when you apply these materials and these resources and these ideas into your real life and into reality, you will find more and more and more, and you will predict with more and more and more results. So here STEM cover every science in detail, not a lot of information about many subjects without using it into your recent life or in reality. So here STEM education aims to speak a lifelong interest. Interest means here اهتمام أو مهمة أو concern or the field that you concern with or your major. Technology, math, and engineering, and develop deeper into application of each. How do you can have, how do you have a lot of strategies, a lot of methods, a lot of activities to apply so this deep information or deep illustration and explanation and the methodology or methods to and strategies to apply this STEM into your career or into your major. Courses are segregated. What does it mean, separated? Segregated means separated from each other. So you study history, you study artists, you study science, you study mathematics without making a relationship among these sciences. So they are segregated. So segregated means here separated from each other. So courses are segregated means traditional education treats subjects exclusively and misses out on how they correlate with each other, correlate or cooperate with each other. So here courses not integrated and not complete and not comprehensive or not have a comprehensive meaning or a comprehensive application. So here courses are separated or segregated means they are not together and they are not have a holistic meaning or a holistic معناها كلي, holistic or systematic idea, فكرة شاملة or inclusive idea، فكرة شاملة to how do you can apply these sciences into your life. On the other hand, as you said before in the beginning of this lecture, courses are integrated, not segregated or not separated. هنا courses are integrated. They integrate each other. They bring sciences together. They are together because they need the scientists or the mathematicians people or the biologists or chemists or or physicists, all these scientists need to solve the problems inside their fields together, to discover new innovations, to discover new treatment, to discover new things, new industry, حتى new production. So here all the time these sciences together mean all these sciences together means how do you can solve a problem in a comprehensive or in a systematic way بطريقة كلية وبطريقة منظومية. So courses are integrated. STEM explains to children the interrelations، العلاقات البينية، the cross بنقول عليها cross relations between different subjects and helps them learn through a cohesive approach. What does it mean cohesive? We need to build our cohesive society. Our cohesive means here integrated society, integrated curriculum, integrated curricula, integrated classroom, integrated university. So here with the integration, through the integration among sciences, you can create a coherent society or coherent community, and you can take new steps to find ways to the most problematic issues or the big issues inside your societies. So here, these courses are depends on integration. Also, as you said in your answer to this question, learn by reading. This is the traditional one. You read all the time and to get information and then keep this information or retain this information inside your mind and then recall it again inside the exams. And that's all. But on the other, so students learn by reading textbook. So you read all the time textbooks and more recently online curriculum. So this is or online curriculum or more recently means the distant learning as we do now. So in the distant learning or the online learning, you get this information through the online subjects or online curriculum or inside the classroom, and that's all. So but on the other hand, there is a cell of a cell of workers or a cell of team workers who teamwork who make a lot or conduct a lot of activities, a lot of projects, discover something new, create something new from the old materials or old equipments and so on. So here learning by doing, learning by doing to gain much more skills, and the skills mean what means here experiences. So you got a lot of experiences, a lot of skills by doing many experts or many experiments inside your trying to experiment or trying inside the laboratory or inside your classroom or with your students or with yourself inside your lab, discover new solution and create new treatment inside this classroom. or inside the laboratory or inside the field of study or inside the environment. So here students learn by doing experiments. Experiments means التجارب اللي بيعملوها inside بقى laboratories اللي هو المعامل ولا في الفيلد في الفيلد نفسه في الميدان or inside the real environment in trying out variations of ideas and trying out variations. Variations means the multiple ideas or diversity متنوع من الايديas outlined in variable curricula من خلال the many subjects or many courses that they bring together such as science, arts, mathematics and engineering, technology and engineering. So here this relating to learning by doing. They do something together, and this depends on this kind of STEM education, depends on teamwork. All the time engage inside a team, all the time conduct your project with your colleagues and with your friends to find new profitability or profits or returns, عوائد وربحية results to results means نتائج. Replication of facts. So replication of facts means the repetition of facts. All the time you talked about the old theories of Piaget, of Freud, of Archimedes, of Pythagoras, of Socrates, of Plato. All the time you mention the traditional theories. All the time you mention the traditional rules, regulations, standards. All the time we don't create new. How do you can benefit from all this, all the information? How do you can apply and benefit from this, all the information, to apply some of them or some of you of important ideas inside them into your reality? How to bring all these traditional theories or traditional rules in reality? How do you can? So you can't, because you only repeat the information without how to use this information inside your real life. So replication of facts means the repetition of facts. Traditional education begins with a set of known or proven facts. You prove in these facts before. You talked about these facts. Facts means here the ideas, the theories, the applications, all these things you talked about these things before. Why you repeat this? Why you make a replication of this facts again? And replicates means replicated. Something means rehearsal or repeated. Why you replicated or replicates well-known information? This is not unknown information. This well-known information, repeated information to students. So here, so this is not attract your or grasp your attention. This is monotonous or bored information and repeated information. You can't depend on this information inside your reality or into your reality. So, but on the other hand, the STEM education is discovery of facts. You all the time innovate new something, you discover and build your discovery and build your results upon this discover or discovering information. So here you build, you synthesize. تركب, synthesize means تركب the ideas together and make a relationship among the ideas, then to find your solution. So discovery of facts, the STEM approach encourages students to think for themselves. They think by themselves. Think means here think, يفكر, criticize, analyze. All the time they analyze, thinking criticizing, synthesizing, and predict and create new innovation and a new solution to the problem. So asking questions, inquiring about things, brainstorm, making the brainstorm, or brainstorm means here the generation of many ideas without putting any boundaries or limitations upon your mind until produce the huge numbers of ideas. Then you can prioritize and select the proper ideas after generation of these ideas. So you all the time generating the ideas without any boundaries, without any limitations or obstacles in your mind, generate the ideas, which means here fields of studies, and then select the proper fields, select the proper ideas that coming up with your solution and coming up with your problem and coming up with your issue under discussion. So, and develop problem solving skills. So problem solving skills means a lot, means to analyze, to synthesize, to categorize or make a classification or categories to your solutions. This related to plants, this related to animals, this related to the solutions to the problems, this related to the botany or the science of botany, this related, and so on. So you all the time classify, all the time discover, you all the time bring the similarities and differences and have a new ideas about. You can combine and allocate, you can combine the differences together, the contradicted ideas together, the contradicted materials together in mathematics and physics and chemistry. So you can make a relationship among different things, and that's why STEM education encourage you to innovate and to create and to make a new idea or a new solution from the contradicted ideas. الافكار المتعارضه او الاشياء المتعارضه او اللي انت تظن in your mind that they are differ from each other, you can bring them together again, and you can discover new classification and new category of science such as STEM one and so on. And the traditional education based on individuality. So this is personal. It's not based on teamwork. It's not based on the community or discoursed community, or based on the group of people. So here individuality, there is not much teamwork except for certain projects. So specific projects inside this traditional, because all the time they depend on themselves personally, not collectively. So on the other hand, the teamwork is a STEM education based on teamwork and collective ideas and a collective group. So it's based on collectively ideas or collectively people. So here there are groups and teamwork involved in most activities. So, and that's why this type of learning is successful one and achieve many results and findings. On the other hand, the traditional education limited feedback. It gives you limited feedback or comments about your work. So students don't get detailed feedback. The drawbacks in their works or the positives in their works, negatives, the positives, comments on their works. So this is also criticize their works, evaluate this works. So on learning better and how to improve their scores. So this limited feedback. On the other hand, constant feedback means this sustainable. Constant means sustainable or continuous feedback. مستمر feedback, this is ongoing feedback. So students get real-time feedback and on their knowledge of subjects and direction of projects. So they are all the time give key feedback, and the constant means sustainable or continuous feedback all the time during their works and after their by setting specific regulations and rules how they can conduct their projects. Then during or inside their works or inside their conducting their projects, they obtain feedback from the tutors or from the teachers how they can or what we say corrective actions إجراءات تصحيحية, how they can conduct the experiment in a specific way to get successful results and findings. So all the time inside their works they get feedback, or after their works or post their works or their projects, they can get feedback to overcome the negatives or their drawbacks in the forthcoming projects, or how they can conduct effectively the forthcoming or the next projects perfectly and overcome the drawbacks or the negatives things that they did inside the previous one. So that's all. Also, this type of learning, the traditional learning, answer focused assessment. So here, how the teachers propose some questions, and the students answer this question, and that's all. And this is the evaluation of the process of learning inside the traditional, such as the exams and such as oral or written exams inside our institutions. So this type of learning is traditional one. So assessment is by a process of written or online examination involving the same set of questions asked to all students. So all the time they asked, and the teachers asked and the student answer. So answer focused assessment اللي هي التقييم evaluation. But here I evaluate what? In the STEM education, I evaluate the project, such as the capstone project that you do and that you will do inshallah in your STEM education. So the capstone here means you can do a program, or can you do new innovative ideas according to your major in science and mathematics. So activity focused assessment, understanding of the text subject is more valued. Valued means here precious or more important, with experiments and activities conducted. So here, this is your focus, the focus here on your activities and on your projects. Here, so after all these things, the traditional one depends on what? Memory, memorizing. So memory wins. اللي تكسب هنا هي الذاكرة فقط. You all the time keep the information, and the successful person or the successful student who memorize and who remember the information easy. So here, success in examinations depends on how good students have memorized lessons. هو هنا ازاي يحفظ كويس. لكن performance wins here بقى. The skills that you gain, your experience after this all type of learning or this process of learning, you here evaluate the performances, the act, your skills, your experiences that you got from the process of learning or from STEM education. So performance wins. Performance wins means here اللي يكسب الأداء. Performance mean your act, your conduct, your behavior. So here success and grading depend on the understanding and the performance of the tasks. So you have some tasks, some assignments or tasks معناها المهام اللي هتقوم بيها or the work that you will conduct. So that's all. This is what we say the differentiation between the traditional education and the STEM education. Okay, who now can differentiate between the two types of after saying all these things, who can differentiating between the two types of traditional learning and STEM education, or this traditional education and STEM education? After mentioning all this these kinds of or these key points according to this comparison between the STEM education and traditional education. Did you benefit from this one? Did you benefit from this differentiation or this comparison? Did you benefit from this one? Is it useful for you? I ask you, by the way, is it useful for you to make this comparison between the two types of learning? Is it useful for you or
Yeah,
not?
of
Yes.
course.
Okay. So which kind of information that you got from this comparison?
The integration between science
So
approaches
this
of
is
science.
yeah. So the focus here in the STEM education is what? The focus in integration, teamwork, student centric. What else? What did you get from this comparison between the traditional education and the STEM education?
You have to get a research skill.
Yeah, all the time projects, activities, this kind of education based on activities, projects, teamwork, discovering performance and the skills. Okay, let's move to the history or the background of what? The background of STEM education. After saying this comparison between the STEM education and the traditional education, we need what? We need to know some movements, some historical backgrounds that establish the real STEM education inside the United States of America or the States, United States. Okay, so here historical origins means the history or the background and development of STEM education. Actually, that in the 2001, the No Child Left Behind, No Child in NCLB. This is an abbreviation of what? The word abbreviation means the initial letter or a specific letter of initial letter or the capital letter of specific keywords such as STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And also No Child Left Behind or NCLB means the famous movement of No Child Act, No Child Left Behind Act is established. This is Obama's talks, or Obama, the previous president of United States of America or USA, said with this movement of the or these acts the No Child ما فيش طفل هيبقى خارج نطاق التعليم. So the No Child Left Behind Act is established to was an answer to answer the questions to the supposed non-competitiveness. Non-competitiveness اللي هي competitiveness means the competition among people. So non-competitiveness, how do you can answer, how do you can create skillful persons to face the competitiveness or the competitive challenges alongside or all over the world. So here, how do you can face all the competitiveness or all the competition or challenges inside the world of the United States in academic endeavors. Endeavors means اللي هي initiations. Endeavors means initiation، مبادرات أو مساعي. So here in the 2001, the first movement, which is the No Child Left Behind, this act moved a lot of things to create the new science, to challenge and to face a lot of challenges, or a lot of problems inside the academic world, or inside the United States. And then in Arizona, in the governor of Arizona, there is a new agenda, or a new perspective, or a new vision, established a STEM agenda, or a STEM education in 2001, is created for the US by the governor of Arizona, محافظ Arizona, Janet Napolitano. They acquired federal, and they talked, they can obtain it, private funding for STEM education, and for خدوا تمويل معين ل STEM education. And other states followed بقى، ابتدى to create other states in the United States of America. الولايات التانية ابتدت إن هي to discover and to know about this STEM education, and to apply the idea inside the United States of America, creating STEM councils. Councils means here مجالس or associations، جمعيات or مجالس in their respective states to support the educational initiative، المبادرة التعليمية of STEM education. So in 2001, a STEM agenda is created for the US United States by the governor of Arizona, Janet Napolitano. They acquired federal. This is a system inside a system, political system inside the United States of America, and the private funding, and the other states followed suit, followed this initiative, creating STEM councils in their respective states to support the educational initiative، المبادرة التعليمية. In 2005, a report, there are many reports about STEM and the value of STEM and the importance of STEM learning. A report from the U.S. National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine stated that U.S. Proficiency in STEM was trailing, and this real act about in 2000 initiatives, or real initiatives, and real acts, and real implementation and application of the program of STEM education inside the United States of America. And the raising this idea, because the sciences, and this bringing the sciences together, medicine, science, all sciences, engineering, technology, all these sciences, when you bring these sciences together, it means a lot, and you can solve many problems according to these sciences, or the gathering between these sciences. In 2014 or 2014, the technology and engineering literacy assessment is delivered to selective students as a probe to judge their understanding of the use of technology. في طبعا they can use the technology, and they already conduct many assessment and many tests, how and they talk inside the United States of America. They talk the opinions of the students, and the opinions of the expert people, or the expertise, how they can conduct and implement in engineering and mathematics and the technology with inside the STEM education, and they take a probe probe means here investigation، يعني زي questionnaire كده to judge their understanding of the use of technology, how they can use technology to facilitate and to make everything easier in front of the scientists and the engineers in their works and in their projects. In 2015 the every student, this is another movement, and this movement اللي هي in 2015 replaced the act of no child left behind. This is instead of the no child left behind in 2015 the every student succeeds act. كل الطلاب هينجحوا في STEM education and كل الطلاب will achieve many projects and many achievements and many results during practice STEM education and this program, and joining the STEM schools and STEM high schools inside the United States of America by the act of indeed the Every Student Succeeds Act اللي هي ال ESSA is a US law passed in December. ده طبعا قانون في ابتدى ان هو to included in the educational policy in the United States of America in 2015 that governs the United States from K to 12, from the early beginning of the process of learning from kindergarten to 12 until the high school public education policy. The law replaced this law replaced the act، يعني جه محل instead of the no child left behind, and this act was very very important because this the act of ESSA was more comprehensive and inclusive. The all kinds of child, all kind of learners from K to 12 and this public education, and this is law, not only act, this is a law replaced, it's the No Child Left Behind Act or NCLB. And in 2017 the Inspire Act, President Trump signs the Inspire Act requires NASA or the National Agency for Astrology Association أو وكالة الفضاء اللي هي بتاعت ناسا to encourage women and girls to pursue in STEM education. So this act for women, this act for girls to engage the STEM education, to work and to find job in NASA, and this act was by the previous President Trump to inspire the girls and women to pursue and to follow this kind of education, of STEM education, and to engage with the projects, many projects gathered between science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In 20, by the way, the designs and systems, the thinking of technology and the effect of technology on society, this is the main issue and this is the main goal of STEM education in this period of time, from 2001 and 2017. A lot of designs, a lot of systems, political, educational policies, and thinking about how you can use technology to solve a problem, how you can use technology with technology to facilitate the application of the all sciences such as physiology, physics, biology, mathematics. How do you can engineering? How do you can use all this science together by using technology inside society to facilitate and to easy to find solutions to most problematic and most crucial problems inside the essential and crucial problems inside the society or all over the world. And in Egypt, from 2018 to 2022 until now, the beginning of STEM teacher preparation in faculty of education or faculties in many universities, indeed now in recent days apply the STEM education in their faculty of education to prepare well the teachers how they can use STEM education inside the schools or inside the classroom. And that's all. This is a brief background or brief historical background about STEM education. And there are many more details inside each movement or each act. This strategic, okay, this is federal math sciences is related again to the program or the framework that the United States of America or the USA established their its own framework of federal, this is the government federal math science education priority framework, and this is the framework that governs the STEM education. The most important strategic objectives اللي هي الأهداف الاستراتيجية to this framework: improve the science and mathematics performance, strong pre-college teacher workforce, adequate pipeline for the science and technology workforces. Workforces means here the workers or the job future, or how you can find new employees or new employers to handle and to tackle and to treat the most challenges or the most important challenges or the grand challenges in their society and in the global world. And this is the big challenge in front of the STEM learners, including increased participation of represented groups, improve the public science literacy. And these are the strategic objectives and of this federal math science education priority framework، الإطار العام للحكومة الفيدرالية لتعليم الماس والساينس أو الأولوية الأولى للتعليم. وطبعا الامبلمنتيشن برايورتيز اللي هي الجنرال بابليك ساينس ليترسي والبري كولج والاندر and graduate, and these are the most important priorities اللي means things the important things that come first اللي هي الأولويات. So you should start with the important things, then the less important things to achieve your goal. So implementation priorities ايه هي الأولويات الطارئة أو المستعجلة أو المهمة جدا اللي انت you should apply STEM education. هم حقيقوا قالوا ان هي في الجنرال public science literacy، في المواد العامة أو العلوم العامة اللي بتدرس للطلاب from the early beginning of the studying or learning the process of learning، والبري college اللي هي قبل المدرسة، الحاجات اللي هي قبل المدرسة نفسها، والأندر جراديويت اللي هي في الكوليدج نفسها بقى، والجراديويت اللي هي by the end of the obtaining the courses and programs in the undergraduate or the first learning inside the university, the first stage of learning inside the university. طيب what are the components of implementation components? All the time they evaluate and assess. Evaluation اللي هي implementation components, this depends on the teamwork, the projects, the evaluation of the projects, dissemination and technical assistance with the using of technology to facilitate everything and to find easy conclusion to your projects, and educational technologies, how to learn the students, how they can use multi programs inside technology to achieve their goals. Type. By the end of this course, we need to again to know the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, philosophy behind this science or behind this course. The philosophy, as you said before, depends on the integration and how do you can building the harmonized society, integrated society, integrated society, harmonized society, coherent society, and that's the philosophy behind the STEM education, as you mentioned in the first and the beginning of this lecture. So all countries need to identify specific STEM competences. So competences means here skills that their citizens should acquire not only to meet future labor market demands, but also to ensure a sustainable and the quality of life for all. So you need to live in well-being society or community, or welfare society or community, and to achieve the quality of life، جودة الحياة أو رفاهية الحياة and well-being society، مجتمع الرفاهية أو مجتمع أكثر حياة وأكثر رفاهية. So it's not only related to when you build the STEM education, not only related to achieve the demands of the labor market اللي هو متطلبات أو the requirements of the سوق العمل اللي هو labor market، لا أيضا إن أنت you should also achieve the sustainable and the quality of life، حياة مستمرة و the peaceful life، quality of life by using this STEM education. طيب we have time or not? Are we have time or not have? Do we have a time? So what are the
دكتور احنا
STEM?
عندنا محاضرة دلوقتي.
Okay, so the last question for you. What are the
Okay.
STEM competences؟ إيه هي جدارات STEM أو skills؟ Competences means skills. What are STEM competences؟ طيب STEM competences depends on know what السبجكت، النولج والvalues والاttitude know how، ازاي ان انا اطبق الكلام ده. يبقى first of all you need to get information, then how do you can apply this information. So STEM competences based on these two kinds of information, these kinds of or these two elements. The know what، أنا عايز أعرف إيه. So what's the subject, what is the problem, what is the idea, which is knowledge. Attitude that depends on the ILOs that you, by the end of this course, by the end of this lecture, by the end of this curriculum, the students or the learners will be able to do that. So this is knowledge, attitude، المعرفة والقيم والمهارات اللي انت هتتعلمها to transfer. And know how is they to apply this one. So act, this related to what? Related to the performances, الact. Act effectively in context, in your environment. Skills to practice morally. ايه هي المهارات اللي انت to be objective, to be honest. Morally means أخلاقيا. So you should establish code of ethics or code of conduct. code معناها ميثاق أخلاقي أو ميثاق للسلوك. Apply knowledge. How they can apply knowledge. So these are some institutional of STEM high schools. This is inside the United States of America, and this in Egypt, the institutional of STEM high schools, some of the schools of STEM education, and this is the locations of this schools inside Egypt of STEM education, and such as the Maadi STEM School for Girls, we the STEM education school in 6th of October. And the last thing today is STEM philosophy. The STEM philosophy based on four things. Number one, encouraging students to innovate in science and mathematics, using technology in creativity and scientific innovation. Number three, understanding contemporary life skills or recent life skills. And the last thing is create active entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs اللي هي رائد الأعمال، اللي هي جاية من كلمة entrepreneurship اللي هي ريادة الأعمال. So create active entrepreneurs اللي هي رواد الأعمال who conduct their own startups or with their own projects or small projects. And thank you. Okay, before we leave, what we studied today. Thank you so much for today's lecture and what we studied today. By the way, I will send on your WhatsApp group because you have another lecture, inshallah, the project that you will conduct during the few months, these few weeks, and this depend your assignment and your marks depend on this project. So I will send inside in your WhatsApp group the nature of the project that you will conduct, inshallah, during these few weeks or during this month. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, what we studied today, who can make a recap or a summary of what we studied today? What we studied today? Quickly بقى كده في دقيقة. Yes, Claire. هي على طول اللي بتسعفكم على فكرة. Yes, Claire.
Yes, doctor. We had an introduction about STEM and a comparison between STEM and
Traditional education.
the traditional education, yes. And after that, the historical origins and development of STEM. And the last thing, the places of STEM
Yeah,
in
the institutional,
Egypt.
yeah,
Yes.
institutions اللي فيها STEM. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Any questions?
You're welcome. Thank you,
Questions?
doctor.
Thank you so much. See you, inshallah, in the Faculty of Education or in our campus inside the faculty. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much. Dr. Fatma Zahra Salim was with you, the professor in the Faculty of Education in the Foundations of Education Department. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You can leave now.
Bye.
I will send you the video. Yeah, I will send you, inshallah, the video of the lecture, inshallah. Thank you. Bye-bye. Keep in your smile, please. You deserve to be an optimistic person. And please be smile all the time.